I remember exactly where I was the first time I watched Maryjane Byram. I was in my mom's house. I was just laying on my bed, just casually scrolling through YouTube. One of her videos had popped up, and the moments that I saw her and she started talking, I was hooked. She was stunning. Her energy was a little bit dull, but like it was magnetic, and she had this presence that made you want to just keep watching her. That first video turned into a full-on binge. I stayed up all night and I watched almost everything on her channel. Vlogs where she talked about moving to China, working in a warehouse to save up money for travel, and sharing tips from her fitness journey. It was all very captivating. She felt real, like she was this relatable girl chasing her dreams and making it happen. I looked at her and thought, yeah, that literally could be me. She wasn't just some influencer with pretty aesthetic. She was putting in the work and letting us see the hustle. In case I've never said it here before, the very first hobby of mine that I always wanted to do was to be a traveler. That was what I've always wanted to do. When people always ask, what's your hobby? I'm like, a traveler. As a child, literally, I think I was like 10 years. I'll be like, I want to be a traveler, and I had never traveled anywhere. So since someone put in that amount of effort to make her dreams come to pass was something that I was really, really interested in. She was putting in the work and she was letting us see the hustle. And it wasn't just me who felt that way. Her following was growing very fast, and she was also building a brand as this fearless traveler, this solo traveler, and also kind of a beauty influencer. She was showing us the world. She was dropping hair care tips. She was talking about health and confidence, all while living this exciting life that a lot of us could only dream of. But then everything shifted, and I would never forget the moment that it happened. I was on YouTube minding my goddamn business when a video from Trace TV popped up in my recommendations. The title hit me like a fucking brick. I confronted the biggest scammer on YouTube, Maryjane Byram. I stared at it for a second and I thought that it had to be clickbait or just some dramatic reach. I was like, Mary Jane, a scammer, the same girl who showed us how she hustled and saved and made things happen and moved from New Jersey to China to literally pursue her dreams and become who she is as a girl. But you know one thing about curiosity? It always gets the best of you, because curiosity got the best of me and I clicked on the video. And I think that was my introduction to Trace TV, because I didn't know him prior to that. So that was my introduction to Trace TV. But anyway, from the moment that the video started, my whole view of her started to kind of crack, because I'm someone who does not really base my opinions based on what other people are thinking. But I started to see her sideways. So when it came to the video, Troy's did not come to play. He wasn't just making noise. He came with receipts, with screenshots, with voice notes, with emails, with people who were willing to speak up, and girls who had followed her, who had supported her, who had admired her, just like I did, and then ended up feeling completely used.
She booked my hotel before she even got my money, to really have me believe that this is set in stone. I sent the money to her sister because she said that her Zelle isn't working, or like something like that. So I start calling the sister and I'm like, hey sister, like your sister has my money. Can you please like contact her so that she can give me back my money? And sister is saying that she hasn't heard from her sister in a while because her sister's in Egypt or whatever. I'm putting in quotes because she's still posting on social media. Like, I know you see my message about you sending me back my money.
It got to the point where I threatened Maryjane with taking legal action, which I was really full-blown willing to do, because what you're not gonna do again is take my money.
They talked about paying thousands for these group travel experiences that she organized, expecting a luxury trip abroad with Maryjane herself. But for some, the trips were cancelled with no explanations and no refunds. Others actually went on the trip but said that things were very unorganized, very chaotic, and nothing like what had been promised.
So I cashed after her $2,500. Never asked me for my passport, what was my full name or anything. The only thing she asked me was which state I was coming from. So now I have to, she was very nasty. Like, I was never rude to her. But anyway, It is what it is. I'll never get my money back.
There were no return flights booked, random hotels, some things paid for at last minute, and it sounded like a whole nightmare. Then there was the hair products, the rice water serum that she promoted constantly. People said that they paid for it and they waited for weeks and they got nothing. No products, no updates, just a tracking number that was fake, allegedly. And when they tried to follow up, she didn't say anything. Literally, she answered them with silence. Some said that they were blocked after asking for answers. I sat there just watching all of this unfold, feeling like the rug had been pulled from under me. It was very confusing and it was sad. The girl that I thought I knew, the one who showed her life so openly, who talked about struggle and self-made success, was now being accused of doing the very thing that she preached against. Because let's not forget, this girl has come out so many times claiming that, not claiming, she says she's a good Christian lady, she is against the universe, and in her own words, the universe will swallow you and spit you out, but Jesus is always the way.
Care about you. God cares about you, but the universe will chew you up and spit you out. It will suck you up in a tsunami, spin you around in a tornado, and shoot you into oblivion. It does not care about you, okay? God does.
I want to be a strong Christian. I want to be a strong representation of what it means to be a Christian. And religion, he talks about a relationship. He wants to have a relationship with you. That's all he wants.
It made me think a lot about how easy it is to get attached to someone's online persona. How quickly we buy into a version of someone because they seem honest or because we relate to their story. And how that trust can be taken advantage of without us even realizing us. And the thing is, it hurts you even if you're not placed there. Not just because of what she allegedly did, but because of what she stood for. Maryjane represented something to a lot of us. She was one of the very few black women in that travel and lifestyle space who felt authentic and reachable. And seeing that fall apart didn't just ruin this illusion. It left this bitter aftertaste of betrayal, and it was a wake-up call. Sometimes the people we look up to the most are the ones who let us down in ways that we never saw coming. Not because they are human and flawed, but because they used their story, something that felt so genuine, to allegedly manipulate and profit off people who truly believed in them. I don't know what's 100% true. I wasn't one of the people directly affected, but when so many people are telling similar stories, when you see screenshots and videos and hear first-hand accounts, it's hard to keep pretending that it's just haters or online drama. And that's what this whole thing became for me. Not just an expose or a YouTube rabbit hole, but a reminder that behind every published vlog, there might be something messier going on. And sometimes the story you thought was inspiring ends up being a lot more complicated once the filters come off. That being said, let me introduce myself. Hi guys, my name is Joel. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, I speak about whatever I want to speak about, whether trendy or not. I give deep dives, documentaries, literally I do deep dives, and recently I've been speaking a lot about influencers, which I did not think was what I was going to fixate more on. Like, all this happened coincidentally, and thank you for sticking around. Thank you so much. That being said, it is the first time seeing me and you're not subscribed, kindly subscribe. Even though this is not your first time viewing me and you're still not subscribed, kindly subscribe to this video, like this video, share to the world, and thank you so much for stopping by and for watching and for just being there. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you. And that being said, let's get straight into this video. So, who is Maryjane Byram? Maryjane Byram is an American travel vlogger who really started making a name for herself in the late 2010s. She was born in New Jersey in 1995 and she launched her YouTube channel back in April 2017. She mostly shared travel vlogs, beauty tips, and hair care videos while she was living in China. What made her stand out early on was the fact that she was a young black woman navigating life overseas, and she was doing it with confidence. She wasn't just posting pretty pictures, she was showing her life abroad in real time, and that authenticity helped her grow a big audience pretty quick. Within a few years, she had built a YouTube subscriber count of over 340,000 people. On Instagram, she pulled in tens of thousands of followers amassed to around 90,000 people at one point just by posting dreamy travel content from all over the world. From the beginning, Mary Jane branded herself as a woman on a mission, a woman of God. Her big goal was to visit every country in the world, and by her mid-20s, she claimed that she had already made it more than half. She often said that she wanted to be one of the few black women to complete that journey, following in the footsteps of people like Jessica Nabongo, who became the first black woman to officially visit every country. Mary Jane's early content gave us a glimpse into life abroad, especially in China, where her sister was working as a model in Shanghai. She documented her travels across Asia and beyond, hopping between cities and continents with so much ease. She had this image of being adventurous, of being carefree, of being self-made, someone who took a bold leap and made travel her full-time job. By 2018 and 2019, her platform was thriving. She was in her early 20s, she was homeschooled, she was close with her family and had figured out how to turn her travels into a brand. But while everything looked perfect on the surface, smiling selfies in front of landmarks, motivational captions, and travel diaries, things were starting to unravel behind the scenes. Slowly, that admiration that people felt for her drive and ambition just started to turn into suspicion, and eventually a wave of accusations would start to reshape how the internet saw her. What once felt like a dream lifestyle started to look more like a carefully packaged illusion. That being said, let's speak about her childhood, her family background, and the early jobs and her start of travel. So Maryjane Byram, she was born on Christmas Day 1995, and she grew up in New Jersey surrounded by a big close-knit family.
The third random fact is my birthday is on Christmas Day, 1995.
She was homeschooled alongside her four siblings, Christina, Joshua, Jesse, and Isaiah, and she was homeschooled and brought up by their single mom, Tracy.
Because I was homeschooled, and so I was raised very prude. Like, I was very much, I don't know what the correct word is to use, but I was just raised very sheltered or anything like that. So when I went to college, I was very much a little kid still. And I remember I was so excited to go to college.
That kind of upbringing just shaped a lot of who she became later on. It gave her this strong sense of independence, of curiosity, and self-belief that came through in everything that she did. Her sister Christina eventually moved to China to model, which seemed to open Mary Jane's eyes to the possibility of life beyond the US. Honestly, that probably played a very big role in sparking her own decision to go abroad. After finishing school, Mary Jane knew that she wanted to travel, but she also knew that she would have to find a way to pay for itself. So she got to work. She took on whatever jobs that she could find. She saved religiously and even worked in a warehouse, where she later talked about in a storytime video. It wasn't glamorous, but it was real, and when she finally had enough saved up, she booked a one-way trip and she did not look back.
So I had to get a job in New Jersey over the summer and work my butt off. Oh my gosh, you guys. I worked so freaking hard. It was ridiculous. And I hated it. I hated it for two main reasons, because when I was 18, I moved to Boston. I had a very bad high school experience. I'm not friends with anybody in my high school. I got a job. I had a couple different jobs. So the first job I had was working at a salad factory. So literally it was like 20 degrees in the salad factory. So we had to bundle up. We had to wear like 3 pairs of sweatpants, 4 hoodies, and then you had all this gear on you because you're making salads for people, so you have to like be clean. And we had to wear those boots that come up to like here, and I had to wear a face mask, the whole thing. You wouldn't be able to tell it was me if you saw me, which was a good part because I was very embarrassed doing that job. But I only worked that job for about a month because I just couldn't do it anymore.
In early 2017, she moved to China in her early 20s, not just to visit, but to go to school and use it as a base to explore Asia. She was doing this all on her own time, and that leap of faith just laid the foundation for what would become her brand. She launched her YouTube channel in April of that year. At first, she posted beauty and lifestyle content, but her travel vlogs quickly took center stage. What made her stand out was the fact that she wasn't just showing pretty places, she was showing what it looked like for a young black woman to move through the world solo, which we'll get to later on in this video. And you know what? That mattered. There weren't so many creators doing what she was doing, at least not from her background or her perspective. Her channel started gaining traction fast, and people were drawn to her personality, her confidence, and the way that she talked about things most influencers glossed over. She'll tell stories about what led her to travel, including a very, really intense one about surviving a shooting before she ever left the US.
So I have been in 2 shootings, which is crazy. I've talked about, I don't know if I've talked about the one I'm going to tell you about before. I'm sure I did. Maybe briefly, or maybe I didn't. But I have talked about the first shooting I was ever in when I was like 18 years old.
And she would be open about how she made it work financially, cutting corners, living on a budget, saying no to things that she couldn't afford, and just staying focused on the bigger picture. That level of honesty just helped people to connect with her. She wasn't pretending to be perfect or rich or carefree. She was just doing what she could to build the life that she wanted and letting people watch the process unfold. In the beginning, it really felt like Maryjane was showing people that you didn't need to wait for permission or have a crazy amount of resources to actually see the world. You just needed drive, you needed discipline, and a little bit of faith. And for a lot of her audience, that was enough to just stick around. Now let's talk about the viral hair salon video in China. Maryjane's first real viral moment came from something totally unexpected. She was just trying to get her hair done in China. It was late 2017 and she was living in Shanghai at the time. She was 22 years old and already filming bits of her life abroad, trying to build her YouTube channel. One day she had this idea. It was not her idea specifically, because I watched the video again. Basically, one of her subscribers actually suggested if she could go to like a Chinese salon and see if they could do her hair.
I've never even considered getting my hair done like at a Chinese salon, but I thought it'd be really interesting to see what they would do with black people's hair. So boom. Plus somebody asked me to do this video a long time ago, didn't even consider it, but now I'm considering it, I'm doing it. So boom.
So because of that, she decided to go to this Chinese salon. It was a local Chinese salon to see if they could like straighten her natural afro textured hair. She called it a social experiment, not in a big dramatic way, but more out of curiosity. So she figured maybe they've got this, why not try, you know? So she walked into this local salon and filmed everything. The beginning of her walking into that salon kind of pissed me off because she was hiding behind a stone, behind a wall, and her sister was like, go in, and she was like, no, I'm shy. I just like, can you go in because you're wasting my time.
Oh God, I'm scared. I'm hiding.
In front of me. You're the one.
I'm hiding.
She always hides.
I don't want to go.
We look stupid.
Can't see me
She's always hiding behind something.
because I'm nervous, Christina. There's a lot of people.
They see us. We look stupid.
They don't see us.
They see us.
We're hiding behind
the
this.
pole.
You go first.
You're the one getting your hair cut.
But they're gonna be like this
So I'm
big
gonna walk
black.
in and say, I want a wash and blow dry. It's you. I'm just videotaping.
Let's go. Don't push me. That's gonna make it worse. Gonna make it worse. Christina, we look crazy.
Because you're hiding behind a pole.
I'm freaking nervous. Like, let me work up enough courage.
Stupid.
Fine.
Just walk inside. It's not that deep.
There's a lot of people in
Now
there.
they're looking at us. And
No,
see
they're
us.
not.
Yeah, I'm looking at this dude. Let's go.
Fine. I'm nervous.
Anyways, but yeah, so she walked into this small local salon and she filmed the whole thing. What she ended up with was chaos, but it was the kind of chaos that really you would laugh about later. The stylists, they were super friendly and they really tried to help, but it was clear that they had no clue what to do with her hair. No detangling, wrong heat settings, just a lot of confusion.
This is what they came up with.
So I have, oh gosh, I have come back home and I'm going to try and finish this off so it's not a waste of heat.
And it was even through a video that I found out that the hair that what they call it. It was through her video that I found that the hair straighteners in China are not as hot as the one in America because again they have straight hair, so they don't really need that much heat.
Hair does not want to be straight. It wants to be wild. Plus, these straighteners here in China aren't that hot because they don't need their straighteners that hot because their hair is naturally straight. Mine, not so much, but yes.
At one point, they were even trying for hours, and you could see in the video that she was trying to stay patient, but she was clearly over it. She even said later, I was kind of suggesting that they give up, and eventually they did. She went home with half done hair and finished straightening it by herself. That video, Black Girl Gets Hair Done in China, in bracket fail, it blew up. It blew up so much that it hit a nerve, but it hit a nerve in a very good way. People found it hilarious and kind of endearing because she didn't throw shades at the stylist, she didn't storm out, she didn't turn it into drama, she laughed it off, she stayed friendly, she made the whole thing feel like one of those weird but funny cultural moments that you just chalk up to experience. She went home, she combed the hair by herself and she did her hair herself. And the internet loved it. The video went viral almost overnight. It got millions of views. It landed her features in places like Allure and BET, and suddenly she wasn't just another vlogger, she was a girl from the China Salon video. Of course, not everyone saw it the same way. Some people online felt that she should have known better, saying things like, what did she expect? Or like maybe comparing it to going to a dentist for a gynecology appointment. The criticisms that she had came quick, but so did her clapback because she had criticism, but the criticism was not as loud as people who like loved the video. She followed up not long after with a second video, Black Girl Gets Hair Done in China, success. This time she went to a more upscale salon in my own opinion, and it was a completely different story. The stylists, they knew what they were doing, and by the end of it, her hair looked amazing, it looked sleek, it looked soft and straight. She was glowing, and she made sure to address the skeptics on camera, saying this is for all the people who said that Chinese people couldn't do hair and it's so soft. Yes,
This is for all the people who said Chinese people couldn't do hair. You guys, look at this. And it is so soft, isn't it? It's so soft. Yes.
what could have just been a one-off fail turned into a two-part mini saga, and people were here for it. It showed Maryjane's personality, how she could laugh at herself, how she handled the awkward situations with grace, and how she was willing to document the whole process, whether it was good or bad. It also showed that she knew how to turn real-life mishaps into content that actually mattered. The impact went beyond YouTube. Her videos ended up on a Chinese social media too, with people sharing and commenting on the whole thing. She started getting a following in China and even created a profile on Bilibili, which is a major Chinese video platform. And her name in this Chinese video platform was Maryjane. She started posting more about her life in Shanghai, and thousands of curious viewers followed her. That one experience, just trying to get her hair done in a new country, ended up being the thing that really put her on the map, not just as a travel vlogger, but as someone who could bridge cultures, who could spark conversation and go viral without even trying too hard. And that became a big part of her brand, being real, being curious, and sharing the messy, funny in-between moments along the way. So now let's speak about the grey eyes claim and the audience reaction. One thing that made Maryjane stand out from the jump, besides the travel vlogs and the glamorous lifestyle, was her eyes. She had these striking grey hazel eyes that practically glowed on camera. If you were watching her videos for the very first time, that's probably one of the first thing, if not the first thing that you notice. And for a while, she told her audience that they were natural. Someone asked her and she said they were natural, which the comment is deleted, but I have proof. She never said it like it was a big deal, mind you, but when people ask, she'll say, yeah, they are real. At first, most people just accepted it. I mean, why question something so specific? But the more popular she got, the more her followers and her critics started to pay attention to the little details, especially on Lipstick Alley. When I was researching this case, I did like a whole deep dive on that Lipstick Alley. Honestly, that place can be brutal. They were calling her Miss Little Shark Teeth. Like, yo, I understand you may not like her, but giving her a name like Miss Little Shark Teeth, that is literally who she is. Please do not body shame people. Oh my god, like, people were just like calling her Miss Greasy, this, or that. I understand why people are calling her Miss Greasy, mostly because like she looked like she just poured coconut oil on herself and like not glowed, like the oil was on her skin. But people were really going deep on her. Maybe because obviously people were angry that she scammed people, but like people, like, it was the Miss Little Shark Teeth. That's the one that really I was like, rah. But anyways, let's continue. So on Lipstick Alley, people already like did this deep diving into everything that she said and did, and that's where things just started to shift. People noticed that all her siblings had dark brown eyes, and they started to put two and two together. A lot of them felt like it was beyond obvious that she was wearing colored contacts, and they didn't understand why she kept insisting otherwise. It wasn't even about the contacts themselves. Like, no one really cares if someone wears colored contacts. I had a color contact era. Like, if I see the picture, I'm going to put it here for you guys, and that's not new or something like scandalous. The issue was that she said that her eyes were real eyes, and obviously it wasn't. And people felt like she was deliberately like misleading viewers to keep up this mysterious or ethnically ambiguous image, which we'll get to later on in this video. One comment on Lipstick Alley even said that she had receipts, she had screenshots where Maryjane had told people on Instagram that her eye color were natural. And minus Lipstick Alley, Troy's TV, also one of his videos, he actually posted a screenshot of where she said that her eyes are her real color. And honestly, that's what really rubbed people the wrong way, because if it's not that serious, why are you lying? Then came a YouTube video, My Real Eye Color, where Maryjane finally addressed it head on. She said kind of casually that she mentioned so many times in quotes that her eyes aren't real and that she wears contact. And that was my first time hearing her say that, because for the longest of time I knew she always said that her eyes were real.
There's articles online. Like if you Google Maryjane Byram, one of the first things that comes up is like Lipstick Alley. Lipstick Alley is always making these articles on me, and like Lipstick Alley is just like a bunch of bitter girls who hate themselves, going on there to roast other people. And so there's articles on there of me, and there's articles saying like, Maryjane Byram, are her eyes real? And then people will comment like, she says they're real in her videos, but they're not. And then there's people commenting back like, they are real. And it's like, I've said in almost every single Q&A I've done so far that these are contacts. I've talked about it on my Instagram story several times. I've said it on every single one of my Instagram lives. It's like, I don't know how many times I have to say it. Like, I don't want to bring it up all the time because it's really annoying to keep answering the same question over and over again, where people could just do their research. I can insert the clip right here of me saying that they're contacts in this video I filmed like 8 months ago. So they're contacts, you guys. Like, I don't know how many times I have to say it. I know there's not a whole lot of people who are asking or wondering that. They already know. But just for the people who constantly ask me, yes, they're contacts. Whew.
So watching that video, she said, I've always said that people always confusing and asking what some people say is real, other people are like it's not. So this me saying now that my eyes are not real. But this after a long time when she said that her eyes have been real. To be honest, that moment just, it kind of made me pause, because I swear I remember her saying the exact opposite before, or at least heavily implying that they were natural. Honestly, I was in this place of maybe I'm wrong or maybe I'm just remembering it the way I want to remember. but I was pretty sure that she said it and there's proof. And clearly, I was not the only person that thought that she said it too. So that disconnect between what she said in the past and what she was now saying just made the whole thing just feel weird. Like, okay, it's your body, it's your eyes, it's your business. When people call you out and your explanation doesn't match what you've said before, it just creates this weird tension. People started wondering what else wasn't adding up from what you've told, because it became this odd turning point. Something so minor, just like your eye color, turned into a very big conversation about how influencers curate their appearance and identity online. And in Maryjane's case, it added to this growing perception that she was constantly tweaking her image to seem a little more other or a little more unique or a little more marketable. And honestly, especially on Lipstick Alley, there were allegations that she had bleached her skin. But when I looked at her before and after, I can see why people actually said she bleached her skin. But then she lost weight, and most times when you lose weight, you get lighter. That's literally what happens. So I don't know if she bleached her skin. There was also a time where she said that her hair was real, but someone caught the fact that she's been wearing wig all this while. So she's been trying her best to like look like exotic, which again I said we're going to get to later on in this video because I want to speak about her ethnicity. The truth is, if she had just said, yeah, I wear colored contacts because I like how they look, most people wouldn't have like blinked because everybody used to do or used to wear colored contacts at some point. But the fact that she denied it, then backtracked, and then denied ever denying it made it feel very calculated. And that moment just stuck because it was small, but it made a lot of people, especially myself, start paying closer attention, not just to what she was saying, but to how often the narrative shifted depending on what was convenient. And that's when the cracks in her image really started to show. So that being said, let's talk about when Maryjane decided that racism wasn't real. So Maryjane really woke up one morning and decided, you know what, let me post a video that is guaranteed to lose me half my audience. She sits down, hits record, and conveniently says that she has never experienced racism ever. Basically, the title of that video is I've been to 100 plus countries and I do not believe in racism. That video is deleted from her YouTube channel, but Choice TV, I watched this video on him reacting to that video and it put a lot of things into perspective. I don't know why she deleted it, or maybe I could not find it, but I had checked Google, checked YouTube. The only one I saw was I traveled to 100 countries and this is my favorite. I did not see the one about racism. But Choice TV, I'm going to link it in my description box. He actually reacted to the video, so the video definitely exists. So basically, she said that she's never experienced racism, which is so funny because on the 6th of July 2025, she posted a video of when she was in Dubai. She posted a video on TikTok and someone came up to her and asked her for sex, like, how much would I pay you if I have sex with you? And in case you're asking, oh, what's the racism in that? That is racism because, again, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to say because it's happened to me too. But yeah, so like I said, she said she does not believe in racism and she's never experienced racism during her travel, not once, never in her life. Then she takes it a step further and says, we as Black people need to stop the narrative that the world is racist against Black people because it's just not true.
I've been to Ukraine, I've been to all the Balkan countries, Romania, Macedonia, Kosovo, Albania, Bosnia. I think we're more on a way more even playing field. Tons of countries. That's another thing I want to bring up. We were one of the first people to abolish slavery. We had a whole war abolishing slavery, right? And there's tons of countries that still have slavery that had to take place to get rid of it, but it got no one in the United States who was alive was a slave. And just being to 120 countries and seeing how the average person lives. In Japan, the culture is you should blend in, everyone should be the same, and no one's on a pedestal. When we are not, sometimes in the US, when people aren't propped up on a pedestal and praised and seen and bowed down to, that's like a form of racism. You know what I mean? It's like, this, I didn't get this because I'm Black and the world and the world is racist. And it's just so crazy, but it's not the world against black people. It's not the world hates black people. It's not the black people have it the hardest in life. It's just so not freaking true. It's insane that we make it just seem like a big.
Now, here is the thing. If Maryjane had just said, in my own personal experience, I haven't faced racism while traveling, okay, fine, that's your story. Cool. But no, she decided to make it a universal truth. Like, girl, congratulations on having a charmed life, but you're not the spokesperson for 46 million black people. And then because apparently the video wasn't spicy enough, she throws in, black people need to acknowledge that they are racist too. And at this point, I think she thought that she was delivering some groundbreaking social commentary, but it just came off like she was trying to get a gold star from the I don't see color crowd, if you know what I mean. The reaction was instant. Lipstick Alley just got a hold of it and the thread lit up because people were calling her comments straight up lies and accusing her of completely twisting what racism actually means. Because let's be real, racism isn't just someone was mean to me. It's about systems, it's about history, it's about power, it's about things that she clearly didn't bother to consider before hitting upload. And oh, it gets better. In another clip, she actually says, if you're white, you're most likely to be killed by the police than a black person. And that when a black person is killed by police, it's blown up in the media.
We make it just seem like a big land of white people who kill black people, and that's just not true. And black people are just living these terrible lives. If you go out into the world and you see how people live, whoa, we are so freaking privileged. Like, are you kidding me? We are so privileged as black people in America. We live these beautiful lives. And if people actually looked at the statistics, if you're white, you're more likely to be killed by the police than a black person. It's just when the black people are killed by the police, it's blown up on the internet and it's like, oh, everyone's killing black people. And don't be a victim. I'm not a victim of anything. Because I'm not claiming victimhood of anything. I'm not a victim of anything.
I'm sorry, what? That's not just a very disgusting take. That's a take that makes people question if you've ever opened a history book or, I don't know, lived in reality. And someone from Lipstick Alley actually said, white people don't even say shit like that. Honestly, like TikTok, YouTube, every forum like literally dragged her. People said that she was downplaying real discrimination, pushing misleading statistics, and basically throwing her own community under the bus to seem different. Some even accused her of having internalized racism or performing for non-black approval. And honestly, I think she has some sort of internalized racism. And when you watch the video, it's very hard not to see it that way. Even some of her early supporters were like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. One former subscriber said that they loved supporting a young black travel vlogger, but her lies and offensive views were just getting in the way of the content. People weren't tuning into her channel as they used to before. There's even a video where she spoke about like black hair. She was like, who are you as a black person to tell another race not to wear this hair? Who are you?
I think black people, we have a ton of privilege. Like I said in the beginning, like we can literally say to people, you can say this word and you can't. And you can wear this hairstyle, but you better not wear this hairstyle. As if, imagine telling somebody what they can and cannot do with their hair. Like that still blows my mind that it's a thing. Like you are really going to tell somebody what they can and cannot do to their hair. Like it blows my mind. And what word they can and cannot say, but you can say it? Like who? So that would mean you're higher than that person, right? I think that in life there is just bad, mean bullies and people who have so much hate in their heart. And bullies, they're always going to exist, always going to exist. And yes, there are mean people in life. And they exist.
This is something that I've spoken about in one of my videos before when I said America has a podcasting problem. The reason why black Americans and black people do not like when other races use like wear braid is beyond don't wear what I'm wearing. It's because we are being rejected and being scrutinized for our hair. People do not get jobs for their hair, for being on locks, for being braids. That's why people come out to wear wigs, because that's what has been conditioned. That's what has been kind of forced on us. us. So like literally, if you're not allowing us to wear our natural hair as we should, and you're coming to wear our hair when you can take it off anytime, it's kind of insulting. That's why people are like, do not wear our hair till it's like at least accepted everywhere. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So people have a problem with people from other races like wearing black hair, because people lose their jobs for it. Even in my school, when I was schooling in my university was in Nigeria. Literally, locks was not allowed. Wearing locks was not allowed. What of the guy in the BYU school where he had long locks and they told him to cut his hair? But then you're seeing white people wearing locks. You can wear it as a costume and then drop it whenever you like. But we as black people, this is us, this is our identity, and it's not accepted. So why people really get angry is because when people from another race wears black people's hair, it's like you're not accepting us for what we have and you're wearing it. So it's literally a little bit like a form of blackface, if that makes sense. But hopefully that makes sense. But here's the kicker here. This wasn't just like, a one-time slip up. It fits a pattern. The same way that she's been accused of misleading people with her businesses and fundraising, she's now out here misleading people on one of the most sensitive and important topics out there. And when I watched Trace TV reaction to this video that she made, he said that she basically put out that video because he believed that she was trying to grift or change people's mind or remove people's mind from the fact that she's owing thousands of people money because she allegedly scammed them. And when you put those together, her alleged scams, her out-of-pocket opinions, it paints a picture of someone who either has no self-awareness or who just does not care. At the end of the day, the whole thing didn't just cause backlash. It cemented this narrative that Maryjane is out of touch with her own community. And once you lose that trust, you can't buy back no matter how many travel vlogs you post. And again, I don't think this girl believes she's black because she's only black when it benefits her. Does that make sense? Because she has come out to be like she's from different places. She's Asian, she's Ethiopian, okay, you know what? I'm just going to let it play so that you guys can see what I'm talking about.
She loves to do something that's very common amongst a lot of women who have self-hate issues. She profusely loves to boast about being mixed race, even though she has said countless times that both her parents are black and African American.
I'm black, but black is a color. I'm very mixed up, which also falls under the definition of black. But I don't have any Indian in my blood, interestingly enough.
6 months later.
While I was in Ethiopia, they all thought I was from Ethiopia. I'm part Ethiopian, but only a percentage. Laughed my ass off.
3 hours later.
I'm black American, meaning I'm a ton of different things all mixed up. My grandma's mixed with black and white, and my dad is Dominican and Somali, and a bunch of other stuff. My mom has no idea where her background is from. I can't really claim one ethnic group like most people in America. I hope that helps.
Many minutes later.
Are you mixed with Asian?
I am a little.
4 to 6 days later.
Also, I'm 20% Indian and South Asian, which I was aware of because people are elsewise.
Okay, the scammer can't spell for shit. Oh my god, you can scam but you can't spell, bitch? Oh Jesus, she's going to hell in a handbasket for sure.
People are elsewise asking if I'm part Indian.
Shut up! And wanting to be deemed as exotic is a common thing in the black community.
So that being said, let's speak about the allegations of scams and the controversial scheme that Maryjane Byram has found herself in. For a long time, Maryjane Byram was seen as this fearless go-getter, this black woman traveling the world and doing what most people only dream about. She seemed to have it all figured out. She was living abroad, she was vlogging full-time and turning her life into content. But around 2020, the shine just started to wear off. What started as a few whispers online suddenly turned into full-blown accusations that she's been scamming her own followers for years. At first, people weren't sure what to believe because she had built her brand around transparency, around hustle, around filming for rural villages, showing her bare face, talking about money struggles. But as time went on, the complaints, they piled up, and they weren't vague complaints. These were specific people with receipts and timelines saying that they paid Maryjane for things that she never delivered. And the more people looked into it, the worse it got. So that being said, let's speak about the travel body scam. So let's start with the travel body program because this one is really what opened the floodgates. So in 2022, Maryjane started promoting what sounded like the opportunity of a lifetime. For $385, fans could join her in a different country for a few days. She would cover the hotels and flights, and you'd basically be her travel companion while she filmed content. It was like a mini influencer retreat, but it was way cheaper. She said that she would be taking 2 people per country and she had around 20 destinations listed. People were hyped, some paid instantly, but you know what? Nothing happened. No itinerary, no confirmation, no plane ticket. She was just silence on some of them. And people started messaging her. They were like, what's going on? And she would ignore them. And then they noticed something weird. Like, while they were waiting to hear back, she was off in Afghanistan, still posting vlogs, still traveling as if nothing was wrong. It became very clear that she wasn't reaching out to anyone privately. No one had details, no one had plans. She kept saying on Instagram that she would be in touch with her travel buddy soon, but it never came. It started to look like she had taken everybody's money and dipped, and some victims got their money back by filing disputes with their banks or with PayPal. Others weren't so lucky, they were just out of $385 with nothing to show for it. And then this part's almost very unbelievable. She posted a vlog from Japan walking into an ice cream shop and she got a custom cone with the number 385 written on it. That was the exact price of the travel buddy program. She was flaunting it. People, they were so furious because they saw it as her mocking the people that she scammed. Someone commented and said she's truly a sick individual. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that reaction. She later claimed that the program was real and she said that she had been contacting everyone. She even tried to sell access to a travel buddy wait list for future trips. A wait list for a trip that never happened. Then when she tried to offer a cancelled New York spot to the public, supposedly because the original person could not get a visa, she listed it with a discount and flexible dates, which made no sense because if it was real, she should have had a list of people already lined up. Instead, it looked like another quick cash grab. The whole saga was a turning point. People started connecting the dots and realizing that this wasn't just a one-time mishap, this was a pattern. And that leads us to the hair product hustle. Because when the travel body scam wasn't even the only thing, let's talk about this rice water thing, because out of all of Maryjane's controversy, this one was the one that really stuck with her. I checked her Instagram page like 3 days ago, and 2 weeks ago she had another hair product. I did not watch that vlog, like I couldn't be asked because I'm done like researching about this person. But anyways, let's continue. So let's talk about Maryjane, because honestly, when it comes to this rice water thing, it wasn't just about the people who lost money. It's because the whole thing was wrapped up in this perfectly packaged exotic fairy tale vision. I don't know if I should use that word. And then the whole thing just unraveled because back in 2019 she traveled to China to a Yao ethnic village in Guangxi. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it well because I tried. Guangxi? I tried pronouncing it. I learned the pronunciation. I hope that is it. But yeah, so now if you're not familiar, the women there, they are basic hair legends. They have hair that is so long, like it's literally brushing the ground. And their big secret is fermented rice water. Like their hair does not go grey. This isn't some, TikTok beauty hack that, you picked up last year. It's literally a tradition that's been passed down for generations. There's a museum for these people. It's part of their identity, their culture, their pride. Maryjane, she filmed herself there chatting with the women, walking through the village, even speaking Chinese at some point. She paints this picture of herself as someone who was welcomed in, who was shown the real deal hair secrets that outsiders don't usually get access to.
Movies that inspired me as a kid were Indiana Jones, Carmen Sandiego, and even Tomb Raider. I love that these people were scavengers, adventurers, going to see the world instead of just hearing about it or talking about it. Online, I heard about these women who have the longest hair in the world. The Red Yao women of Guilin, Guangxi. In the beginning of 2024, I went on a healthy hair journey to grow my hair as long as I can, as beautiful as I can, as healthy as I can. So I thought, who better to go to than the women in the mountains of China who are literally dedicating their lives to growing the most beautiful, gorgeous hair on the planet Earth. And they've achieved it. These women are awarded with having the longest hair in the world. I got to visit their museum where they break down the ancient Chinese secret of rice water. They even have the ancient rice water recipe still in the museum. This museum breaks down how rice water is so effective and so powerful for hair growth and hair health, and how their rice water secret not only will grow your hair so long, but keep your hair from ever turning gray, like these beautiful ladies. So come with me to explore beautiful Guilin, China.
Look, it looks like God.
The whole thing is warm, it's intimate, and honestly, it's great marketing because not long after she pops up with her own hair line. And her hair line is called Angel Hair by Maryjane. And what's at the center of it is literally rice water, shampoo, and growth oil, supposedly made with ingredients that has been sourced directly from the mountainous village far away from pollution and modern interference. She basically tells her followers, this is Yao's women's secret and I'm bringing it straight to you. And I watched the video of when she was speaking about it. She said that she was an apprentice. Yeah, was an apprentice to them. And she was like, if you've watched my video before, you know that I have been working with these people as an apprentice and I'm here to bring the secret to you people. And people believed it because Maryjane looks like she has good hair. Even though in her past video, she just had like straight hair. But then again, I understand that your hair can curl. But she's been cut to wear wigs even after she comes out to say that her hair is real, which my hair too is real. In case you guys do not know, my hair too is real.
I traveled to the Huanglu village in the bones of China, in the villages of China where no one ever goes, in the beautiful mountaintop of Huanglu, Guilin, China, so I could learn from the women who have the world's longest hair that never turns gray because they use their sacred ancient rice water recipe. I needed this recipe for myself and for my own products, but I had to learn first. I had to learn about what herbs they use. I had to learn about exactly what rice I needed. I needed to learn how to make this rice water so I could reap the same benefits of this never graying, even though gray is beautiful, long, gorgeous hair that grows 2 inches a month. You guys know, if you're at all a little bit familiar with my channel, you know that I went and learned and apprenticed under the Yao women of Guilin. I went to their little itty bitty village in China. This is mine, so it's all used, but this is my rice water. It's available on my website, Maryjane Travels, link down below. You can get your rice water from me because I think you need to get it from me, because if you want it, because first of all, I know what I'm doing.
Anyways, the videos and the story, it sold the dream. Like, you weren't just buying hair products, you were buying a piece of this mystical ancient tradition, and the price tag, it matched the hype. We're talking about products that are over $100 for a set. And people started ordering. They were excited to get this once in a lifetime magic in a bottle. But then the excuses start because orders are delayed because she's a one-woman team, she's overwhelmed, she's hiring staff. According to her, she's working on it. People at first were patient because this is someone that's traveling at the same time she's doing all this by herself. But then weeks turn into months, and then when customers start asking for refunds, she basically goes ghost. Some had to fight through PayPal or even file FTC reports just to get their money back. And then this is when the real bomb drops, because it turns out that she did not even have any actual deal with the Yao women at all. She did not have any partnership, no arrangements, no permission to use their tradition in a product line. People who looked into this said that she literally bought cheap bottles of rice water locally that were worth pennies, and she filmed herself with the women for credibility and then spun that into this whole elaborate narrative. Literally, people said that she went there as a tourist and she was just walking around in their museum.
Literally a whole new scam. The Yao women have museums dedicated to them and their hair growth. So she's showing herself as a tourist, visiting the museums and visiting their tribe, literally as a tourist, not as I'm just communicating and doing business with them. So she's exploiting these women and their journey and their culture for her own gain. It's funny how she claims that she's been apprenticing under these people for months and she's been working closely with them, but she has no footage of business meetings. She has no footage of her interacting with them and no footage of no paperwork or anything. She just expects us to take her word that she's been an apprentice under them, and somehow she's in business with them. And that's how she was able to charge people, and people were dumb enough to pay for it. Hence why people are now going on Better Business Bureaus and other platforms reporting her. I found this thread of somebody blasting and dragging her, claiming that she lied about sending the rice water and that they are now out of $100 because of her lies. She is so diabolical, fucked up.
And to make it worse, she even claimed that at one point that authentic rice water could only be made in Guilin, where the Yao people live. But the minute she leaves China, suddenly she's selling her own version from wherever she happens to be in the world. And she's now claiming that she apprenticed, is that the word, under them and learnt their exact secrets. Which, if you're keeping track, totally contradicts what she said. So the whole thing is just a scam and it falls apart. Things fall apart by Chinua Achebe. If you know, you know. Put in the comment section. Obviously, customers were scammed. Someone did not get their product after paying $110, and they were not just out of money. They did not just lose money, they also lost trust. And they didn't just buy some shampoo. They bought into a story, and finding out that that story was fake, I'm sure it must have been so disappointing for them. And because she tied it to a real community's culture without giving them any real credit or any benefit, or even, you know, paying them back, or like putting it into like whatever they had, like, you know, doing something for them, it blew up into a bigger conversations about cultural appropriation. People were angry. Some called it outright fraud because that's actually what it was, allegedly. Others pointed out that it was basically using an exotic culture as a backdrop to sell overpriced products to Western audiences who didn't know better. By late 2020 and 2021, threads were popping up everywhere warning people about her rice water product. There was even a change.org petition to stop her scams, and the rice water fiasco was also mentioned alongside her other alleged cons. For a lot of her followers, this was the moment that the switch flipped, because she went from inspiring travel vlogger to, oh, she's just out here running plays for cash. And it's one of those scandals that is so sticky because it's come up 2 years later and you can still be talking about Maryjane in 2025 and someone will still bring up the rice water. It's basically become like part of her brand, just not in the way that she probably wanted. One woman said that she waited 6 weeks and only got her money back after she filed a PayPal dispute and reported the matter to the FTC. Another flagged her to the Better Business Bureau, saying that she never received a product or a refund. And Maryjane, she always answers with silence. Like, going back to the race thing, when I watched Troy's TV, when I watched Troy's TV on Troy's TV, there's a video where he confronted her, but not like directly, but he flew all the way to Amsterdam because she was gullible enough to put her location online, where she lied that her phone was being stolen. But when Troy's TV did the location between where she said her phone was and where she was, literally the phone was beside her, but she lied allegedly that her phone was stolen so that she would not be able to reply to the people who stole her phone, and she said she erased everything off her phone. Yeah.
Somebody stole my phone and got access to it. We could all see what she was doing. But clearly, Maryjane Byram, being the dummy that she is, let me just say that my peep game is on fleek. Because I quickly noticed that, and I quickly did a quick Google search to find out where her so-called pickpocketer was. And come to find out, he was literally right around the corner from her current hotel. She had one job, and that was to be a good scammer. And as you can see on the screen, I did a quick Google search, and she was staying at the Paddington Hotel. And as you can see on the red dot, that's where her so-called iPhone thief was. So you're roaming around the UK. In some way, somehow, your scammer just so happened to be right around the corner from your hotel. Interesting. So all I did was a quick Google search, and that girl was literally 1 minute around the corner from her phone that apparently got stolen while she was roaming London. And as you can see on the screen, she's 1 minute and 144 feet away. By car, it's 1 minute. But by foot, it's 34 seconds. Bitch, she stole that shit. She took that shit like she stole them girls' money. I'm trying to figure out how somebody pickpocketed you, stole your damn phone while it's in your hand, they were on a bike, and some way, somehow, they're literally right around the corner from your hotel. Like I said, she stole that shit. This bitch still so goddamn much, she don't even remember what the fuck she stole. How the hell you don't remember that you stole your own damn phone? Give yourself back your own damn phone before I call the police. And how did I know what hotel she was staying in? You're a dummy, bitch. She literally recorded her email while she was showing where her phone was stolen at. While she was on FaceTime, she ended up revealing her personalized itinerary code for Expedia. I peeped that shit. Look a little closer if you ain't see it. There it go right there. 72, blah, blah, blah. And look right underneath. It says London, Paddington. So that's the hotel that she was staying at. And I looked up her itinerary code, and it gave me access to everything. Many people seen it as well, but not that many people really peeped it. I typed that shit into Expedia.com, and it told me exactly where her booking confirmation was for Expedia via the Paddington Hotel, which is the hotel that she was staying at. So I know exactly what hotel she was staying at, and I knew her current hotel because it was attached to all her future and past trips.
You're a dummy, bitch.
Like, what the crap? Who does that?
You're a dummy, bitch.
So yeah, unnecessary lie. So Troy TV flew to Amsterdam to give her a Subway job application and a McDonald's job application, and he disguised himself as a woman.
So basically, my intention was to find Maryjane, fly on a plane. I went on a 20-hour flight. My flight got delayed 7 times. United Airlines lost my luggage, but I was still determined to find Maryjane, find out where the fuck she was, and I found out she was in Amsterdam, Netherlands.
Hey guys, it's Maryjane. I want to let you guys know for the millionth time that I'm mixed. I mixed with Cherokee Indian, I mixed with Muslim, I mixed with a lot of Indian, I have a lot of European in me, I have a lot of German, I mixed with French, I mixed with Polynesian sauce from Chick-fil-A.
And when he went there, he asked Maryjane about like the controversies that he's been hearing of her online, and she said, yeah, it's black women that don't have what to do. She basically said something about black women, and then she was like, she's not going to say anything, she's just going to keep quiet because if she talks, it's going to be more about it.
Are you ever gonna address all that stuff, the rumors and all that stuff that's going on?
No.
No?
No, because to me, I don't.
Because
I
I
don't
see it
see
and
the
I'm like,
point, and
that's all clickbait.
it is, and I feel like that's what they want. You know, like they want me to speak my. And then, like when you do that, you just make yourself seem like you blow the situation up more.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know it's not true, and I know like
It's all
people who have 2
nonsense.
cents know it's not true.
It's like every week it's a clickbait video. It's like,
Yeah,
let it
it's always,
go.
I hate to say it, but it's always like black girls. Like they're always making. This isn't their first time. Those girls made videos about me before.
Like that
It's
little
like
stupid page on, what's it called? Alley something?
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
Stupid
I have
bullshit.
a life, right?
Right.
So no, I get a lot of love, so I don't
Nice
care.
to meet you.
So nice
I
to
know,
meet
it's so
you.
crazy, but like, keep your head up. You're doing fine.
Oh yeah, I'm great.
Okay. Because it's crazy because everybody like, oh, she needs to apologize. I'm like, for what? Like, it's just some stupid
You know more than I
excuses.
do.
I'm like, scroll.
You
It's
know more
like
than I
stupid, but
do.
listen, you're fine. We're good. You're beautiful. You're doing fine. And oh, also, I'm gonna give you something. Hold on. Let's see. If you wrote you a letter, don't open it yet. Don't open it
You
yet.
wrote me a letter?
It did. I was like, oh my god, let me write it real quick because my Uber's like 3 minutes away. But it's so nice to meet you.
Oh my god, how?
But nice to meet you. Thank you so much, and thank you.
Okay, see ya.
See ya.
But yeah, literally, that's what it was. Because again, I think she really does not like black women, and I think she has some sort of internalized racism, honestly. Anyways, while this was going on, while people were flagging her, she quietly left Dubai and claimed that she was moving to New York. People at this point, they thought that she was just doing it to look more trustworthy to her American customers, but no one really ever confirmed that they got the product. She posted the same few customer photos over and over again, but real buyers, people who weren't coming forward to say that they actually received anything. And she didn't say anything, but the thing is, silence says a lot of things. So now let's speak about the fake travels, the guides, and the dead links. So basically, there were these digital travel guides. She sold them as PDFs and ebooks. They're literally guides to travel countries, travel hacks, and how to book trips on a budget. There is Google, there is literally YouTube videos, like there is book trip on a budget, there is jet to holiday. there is love holiday, there is literally anything you want. And this is someone who uses Expedia. Expedia is not affordable. In my opinion, it's expensive. The time I was planning to go to Mexico and I saw the price through Expedia compared to like other this thing. I was like, y'all are fucking expensive. But I didn't end up going because I left my job that year. But anyways, so basically this ebook was to give you guys to different countries, different travel hacks, how to book trips on a budget, except people started saying that the links were broken and the links did not lead anywhere. One person actually bought two and said that they tried to get in touch with her repeatedly, but she ignored them, then she deleted their comments. Some buyers, they got a file or a postcard when they, reported to her, and probably so that she could say, you see, some people actually received it, but the overwhelming majority of people said that they got nothing. And again, the only proof came from her Instagram post, not actual reviews or public feedbacks from customers. It's always from her Instagram post. So let's speak about her group tours, her snack boxes, and everything else, because by late 2023, Maryjane had rebranded the travel body idea into something that was slightly different. Now she's selling curated group tours to places like Bali, Egypt, Iceland, and Paris. She's selling it for thousands of dollars per person. The prices range from $1,700 up to $4,700. The process was the same. Click a link, pay through her store, get no real confirmation. Yeah. Literally, that was the vibe. Literally, from when I was watching like people like speaking about it, they said they got no confirmation. She didn't even ask some of them for their like official names. She only asked one person, where do you want to travel to? Literally, where do you want to travel to? And she said, I think she said she wanted to go to Namibia because Namibia is beautiful. That she wanted to go to Namibia. That was literally what she asked. She did not ask, oh, what's your passport information? Nothing.
So for some reason, the screenshot that I took is not showing this content creator's Instagram name, but her name is Maryjane Byram. It's okay though, because I'm gonna tag that ass. I have been following her since maybe like 2018 or 2019. She has obviously, like, her content is basically all about travel. You guys know that I love travel. She has done a lot of solo traveling and has gone to a lot of countries. I had really admired her for her solo travel. I thought she was really amazing and brave and courageous. And obviously she has created a lifestyle for herself now where that's how she monetizes her money through travel, which is great, right? So back in December, she posted this on her page. Posted this on her story talking about this travel academy, saying that she's tired of traveling by herself and that she would like to travel with someone. So that basically she created this program where you would pay a specific amount of money to her and then she'll cover the rest. And basically you would take content for her and vice versa. And you would just travel together and stuff like that. So here's the proof that I booked it. This was back in December. It was a few $100s, whatever. I felt like it was an investment, a good investment for myself. Cool, right? So a few days passed by where I don't receive an email, and like no sort of communication with her in regards to her questioning me on what trip, what country I want to go to, basically any of the logistics of the trip or whatever the fuck, So whatever, she sends me this email telling me that she's so sorry for the gap in communication and thank you for joining her and that she's excited to meet me, blah, blah, blah. And which country do I want to go to? So I'm very understanding. So I was just like, it's fine. You're probably so busy and have so many emails. I understand. I'm very understanding. I'm a very understanding person. Just communicate with me, right? So I let her know that I chose to go to Namibia in Africa. Namibia looks so beautiful. It was scheduled to be in July. And I had sent her another email like, hey, is there an update, X, Y, and Z? No response. So I went on her page and went to her comments and was like, hey, I booked for Namibia and I haven't received the email yet, blah, 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 whatever, because she's here posting daily talking about, oh, these countries are still available, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, I had booked for Namibia weeks ago, but you haven't responded to me. So, and did she respond? Of course she didn't. So I guess a few people saw my comment under her picture on her page, and then people, like her followers, started to DM me. So we're just talking about how they had also booked with her to go to other countries, like I think it was Japan or wherever country it was. And we're just talking about how she has not responded to us and we paid our money, X, Y, and Z, right? And so here's the conversation as proof. And then one of her followers, she lets me know, like, hey, did you see the stuff they were saying online about her scamming? So I was like, no. So I go to YouTube, and long and behold, there's a video of a girl talking about how she be scamming people and be doing this shit. So then I go on YouTube, and long and behold, there are people talking about their testimonies and shit about them being scammed their money from Maryjane Byram. Oh, I have a direct message to her, but let me just wait to the end. And it's crazy because if you go on her page and you go on her link, like her online shit or whatever, you see all of these trips where she's charging people this amount of money, but she doesn't respond, and she basically just takes your fucking money. Fucking ladrona. Thief. That's what I said. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, let me call my bank and file a dispute. And it was just so like awkward to even explain to them the situation, because imagine, how does that sound? Oh, I booked this trip with this girl on Instagram and she doesn't respond, so I need my money back. You know, so I filed this dispute back in January. So it was just today that my bank finally confirmed that my dispute won or whatever, and I got my money, X, Y, and Z. But what I want to say is, like, it's just so crazy how people are fucking liars on this fucking app. Like, you're really out here trying to scam people out of their money. Meanwhile, this girl be talking about how she's a child of God, X, Y, and Z. Girl, you know what God don't like? God don't like ugly. You are an absolutely terrible person trying to scam people of their hard-earned money and have the audacity to be posting on social media like you're this fucking saint because you be going... I'm not going to get into it because, again, you're lucky I'm in a good mood today, but you're a fucking terrible person, and I hope you get, like, all the karma coming your way. You don't do shit like that. Like, I don't understand how people could go around doing something like that. That's so ugly. Imagine if I wouldn't have won my dispute. It would have been just fuck me and my money, right? And you keep my shit. Man. So, moral of the story is, if you follow her, I would unfollow that ass. I would advise to not follow her. Do not trust anything she fucking posts and say. And with just the influencers in general, like, I'm not saying that I don't trust any influencer, because this was the first time that I really go out of my way and spend money like on something like this because of something that an influencer recommended. And baby, this is the first and last time, because the fuck? So yes, it's normally not in my character to be, I guess, bringing drama onto my page. That's just not my vibe. So no, don't do it. Fuck her. Fuck all of them. Fucking fraud ass bitch.
And how are people falling for this? And apparently, the girl did not know that Maryjane Byram literally scammed people. She didn't know. She just said, okay, I'm going to be traveling with this person, which you guys should like book directly, because if you book an influencer, they'll take their own cut. So it will be much more expensive. I get it. You want to get the belonging of being in a group, go with your friends or just meet up with people. When I traveled to Morocco, I met up with someone that was on the same flight with me, and we followed each other on Instagram, and we like each other's stories, you know? And yeah, but that's just my 2 cents. You gotta have to keep checking my recorder, because the battery recorder like finishes so quickly. It pisses me off, and I'm using like a rechargeable battery, so if it dies, I have to go and get like another set. I don't know, like but anyways, let's continue. So yeah, so like I said, you would literally get no confirmation, and the offers were always posted on her Instagram stories, which disappear after 24 hours. So that way there was no public comments, no repost, and no way to track what happened. And this is a classic move if you're trying to stay under the radar. And let's not forget the snacks boxes, because at one point she was selling boxes of treats from her travel, in quotes, for $70, even some for $165. $5. Yo, treats from travel, I swear to God, you can find it anywhere. Anywhere in your country. I promise you. If you really want to get treats from travel, just go to the airport and say, I want to buy things off duty. Literally, like, what's going on? So, because I was asking myself, who is paying $165 for snacks? Are you that hungry? Are you literally that hungry? Are you that hungry? People questioned why she was even selling those at all, especially since she claimed to be making six figures. If she had that kind of money, why was she pushing overpriced snacks bundles? Like, sure enough, yeah, people started complaining and complaints started rolling in again because people that ordered, I don't know why you guys ordered because it's giving gluttony and it's giving, I don't know, beggy. I'm not gonna lie, like, literally, see, I'm trying to like hold my mouth. Like, I'm a Nigerian. What about Nigerians? Like, when things are weird, we just cannot shut up because this is giving weird. Anyways, orders went unfulfilled. Tracking numbers, they never arrived. And then suddenly she was claiming that she was robbed in a foreign country again, just in time to avoid accountability. Now let's speak about her soliciting donations, her financial controversies, because aside from selling products, Maryjane has also gotten hit for asking her followers to send her money directly, and not for a charity or not for a cause, but just for her. And at multiple points over the last few years, she's put out open calls for donation, essentially asking people to crowdfund her dream of visiting every country in the world. At one point, she said that she needed $1 million to make it happen. Then, without much explanation, she doubled that goal to $2 million. Yeah, so she did not have any breakdown, no project plan. It was just a number. She was like, if you travel, you know that as a traveler, you do everything to make sure you fulfill your dream. Yeah, she has this dream. Yeah, this dream to be a traveler, and there's nothing wrong with asking for donations. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with asking for donations. But if you're known to be a scam and someone who literally you don't care about the people who watch you, who come up to you, and who are inspired by you, then you don't deserve their money. Honestly, to some people, it was very jarring, especially because she had always presented herself as someone who traveled on a budget, who worked hard, who made it happen herself. She always come out to say, oh, I'm an independent woman who travels. Because there's time someone asked her who's the sugar daddy, she was like, I know it's so hard for people to believe that someone, a black woman, can travel the world on her own and fend for herself. So for her to suddenly go, I need $2 million to finish this, it kind of felt off to a lot of people. She tried to spin it into something that was inspirational by launching a walkathon in Tokyo to raise awareness and donations. Afterwards, she claimed that she had raised almost $250,000 and said that she was only $2,000 away from that milestone.
I don't know. I feel like that could be done in a few minutes. 20 of you. 40 of you. And this could be done. And I can go back to my hotel. Well, I have been going to the hotel. And there's only $2,000 left that I'm trying to raise. That's my goal. $2,000. $2,000. And I can stop walking. Ooh. Jeez. Okay. 2,000. And I'm done my walkathon.
And that number it kind of caught people's attention, not because they were impressed, but because nobody bought it. Like, literally, nobody bought it. There were no receipts, no donations, no tracker, no list of contributors, nothing. Just Maryjane just saying that she had raised a couple $100,000 and was almost at her goal. And people started to suspect that she made it up because maybe she was hoping that by claiming that she was close, more fans would feel the pressure to, donate. Someone commented, first put it fairly, and the person was like, she probably like so that she could just get that last $2,000. But the biggest red flag was what she did next, because if Maryjane truly had like $250,000 in donations sitting in her account to fund her world tour, why was she still out here selling $70 and $165 snack boxes? Why push rice water and ebooks and low effort travel guides if you already had six figures in funding? It did not add up. The vibe was so clear. This wasn't about like finishing a global travel project. It was about keeping money coming in. She would post these donation requests in her YouTube community tab or mention them in videos, but then she would quietly delete them afterward. Like, she didn't want too many people to start asking her questions. And with Maryjane, there is no transparency, there is no open platform that is showing where the money that she gets from people go to. And it's mostly just vague updates and disappearing posts like posting on her story.
I think it's cool to show like all the fun days you're having when you're traveling on social media, but you have to know that traveling is extremely difficult, and we're only showing you the exciting days, not the frustrating days. Like today, I literally need help. If you think I'm joking, I'm actually not joking. I'm literally stranded. And instead of freaking out, I said, you know what? Instead of having a breakdown, I'm going to make some content about it. I'm literally stranded in the middle of nowhere, China, and I have no way to get back to Shanghai because all of my cards, they're not working. All of my cards, they're not working. Because this is the middle of nowhere, China, this is normal. My cards don't usually work in places like this. The only card that's working is my Cash App card. And I don't know, literally, I don't know anyone in my personal life that has Cash App to be able to help me. So if you have Cash App and you have like $100 to send me, please do it. I'm stranded.
Again, I didn't want to say anything, but you know what? As I'm editing this, like, I think I can like feel the irritation just boil up just as when I was researching. So one thing I've noticed with Maryjane when she's asking for help or for donations, she asks with a sense of entitlement. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I get. For example, she'll be like, instead of you to get that dinner for tonight, or instead of you to go out with your friends, send me the money. Literally, and then she'll just throw in an LOL to make it look like, oh, it's like all light-hearted. Or maybe she'll be like, oh, I feel like 2 of you, 10 of you, 20 of you, 30 of you can just send me £40, or can just send me $40, or can just send me this amount of money. When she asks for help, she asks with some sense of entitlement. I understand, like, begging. People do not like begging because it's like you're depreciating your ego, but there's a way you can do it and still like make people want to give you. Like, if I'm seeing all this and if I have the money, I would not even want to give because, excuse me, like, who are you to tell me instead of, going to Uber Eats or Starbucks, I should give you the money when there are children dying in the Middle East? The money would rather go to them because they're the ones who need it the most. Because what's this? So like I said, sadly, so many fans, they sent her money. People who genuinely believed in her story, who had followed her for years, who didn't know about all the other accusations that people accused her for. But for others that were watching from the sidelines, it felt like a repeat of the same pattern. She would build urgency, she would take money, and then she would delete the trail. Eventually, followers began speaking out, and one person actually said, they always say don't give influencers money just because of IG, always do your research. Another person wasn't as gentle. Person was like, hard for me to feel sorry for anyone getting scammed by Maryjane in this year of 2023. If you're too lazy to Google the person you're giving your money to, you kind of deserve it. Honestly, I'm kind of laughing because I remember watching Troy's TV's video, because I think he's done like 4 videos of Maryjane and I've watched all of them. I remember watching it and then he said that someone, came into his DM and was like, oh no, I'm laughing. He said that someone came into his DM and was like, oh, I should have listened to you when you spoke about Maryjane because she scammed me. And then he didn't even feel sorry for the person, and he called the person. I don't know what he called the person. I'm going to put it on here. And then it was like, after everything I've said, like, why are you getting scammed by Maryjane in 2025 or 2024?
For today's video, we are all gathered here to drag the fuck out of anybody dumb enough to still give this Maryjane Byram scammer girl any money. Such as this impulsive individual in my Instagram DM who felt the need to DM me this. I got a DM recently from a young lady that basically said, bruh, I should have listened to you. Maryjane scammed me.
Next caller, cause you ain't talking about nothing, bitch.
Excuse my French, but this biscuit brain motherfucker basically went in my DMs and she said she put out a video saying that she was going to teach people how to travel full time, and I believed her. And it's sad that she does this, and she's saying she's a Christian, and she's not even a real Christian, and so much more. I'm not going to read all this fucking essay because I'm sure a lot of y'all don't care. The only thing we need to know is this girl is clearly an idiot, because if somebody's putting out a lot of information about somebody being a scammer, the least you could do is take it and proceed with caution. I'm already in a bad mood because I went to the store and I literally just found out that I just bought some moldy ass bread.
Honestly, it sounds harsh, but it just reflects just how widespread her reputation has become in certain corners of the internet. I think it's because people have this social relationships with like YouTubers or influencers or things like that. Because when you want to buy products, if you're going to a place, don't you check what they call it? Is it Trust? I want to say Trust Master, Trust Pilot. You check Trust Pilot for people's reviews. So why are you not doing that for like influencers? Does that make sense? Like honestly, by that point, there were like entire threads, there were TikToks, there were YouTube videos, deep dives, people warning people about her tactics, and yet somehow the cycle just kept repeating because for every person calling it out, there was always someone new just discovering her and someone who didn't know any better. Now let's speak about her silence, her deletion, and her blocking, because in all of these situations, the pattern is always the same. She promotes something, she takes the money, she goes silent, and she deletes comments when people start asking questions. Her YouTube comments, they were turned off for some time. Her Instagram posts, the comments were limited or they were removed if it did not portray her to be in a good light. The Shopify support button was literally gone, and by the end of 2023, people had to resort to Reddit just to figure out how to get their money back. And it wasn't just a few angry customers, it was a community. A community of people saying that they've been ghosted by Maryjane, and she didn't just fumble, she repeatedly took people's money. She avoided any real accountability and made it nearly impossible to get answers. And when people finally caught on, she doubled down. She would block you, she would delete you, and then she would pretend like it never happened. It's so sad because she's a very beautiful girl, and like this is what is overclouding your beauty. So yeah, the image of Maryjane as the inspirational solo traveler started to like crumble very quickly, and what once looked like a journey fueled by hustle and authenticity turned out, according to more and more people, to be built on a pattern of manipulation, silence, and getting paid upfront with no intention of delivering. And when the smoke clears, it leaves behind a simple but sad truth. For all the talk of empowering people to chase their dreams, the only one getting what she wanted was Maryjane. Now let's speak about her fallout and the public backlash that she's experienced, because at a certain point, the accusations against Maryjane Byram just stopped feeling like isolated complaints and it started to look like a full-blown pattern. And once that shift happened, the internet responded. What used to be a loyal fan base slowly turned into an organized, skeptical community that kept track of her every move. Entire online spaces, they popped up just to document this whole mess. On Reddit, there's just not one but two subreddits dedicated to Maryjane. There is our Maryjane Byram and our Maryjane Byram Scam, where people have been comparing notes, they've been sharing receipts, they've been helping others to get their money back. And one mega thread even invited people to come forward if they've ever sent her money and received nothing in return. And plenty of them, they actually did. People posted about missing hair products, unfulfilled tour deposits, and travel experiences that never really happened. And it didn't stop at venting. The moderators of these forums, they actually shared resources of victims like how to report fraud to Shopify, how to file complaints with the FTC or the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center. That alone just shows how serious this became. It wasn't just gossip anymore, it turned into the grassroots consumer advocacy because people felt like they had no other way to get justice. On Lipstick Alley, the commentary was even more unfiltered, like threads, like I said in the beginning, with titles like Shagged Teeth, Lies and Grease. Yo, I get the lies and grease part because at first when I used to watch her like in 2018, 2019, I didn't really look at the fact that she had grease until when I saw it on Lipstick Alley and I was going back like watching her video, the first video when she went to China. It looks like he slapped like vegetable oil on her. But like yeah, people call her Shagged Teeth because her teeth, she doesn't have good teeth, but that's how she was born. Like stop body shaming her. But anyways, the Maryjane Byram story became like a long running hub for like calling out her behavior. That nickname, Shark Teeth, and grace was a mix of petty internet dragging and genuine distrust. People were picking apart everything she said or did. Even way back in 2018, people were flagging red flags about her lying over little things. There's literally a video that says things that we overlooked. I think it's things that we overlooked in Mary Jane. And honestly, this person was not lying, like claiming her grey eyes were natural when it was pretty obvious that she was wearing colored contacts. That may have seemed like trivial at the time, but for some, it was the first sign that she wasn't being fully honest. As one person put it, if you can lie about something so small, what else are you lying about? And unfortunately, they were right to ask, because by 2020 and 2021, the tone shifted. Mary Jane online had shifted. The commentary wasn't just skeptical, it was very hostile, and it was very hostile like openly, because people who once supported her, they now felt duped. Like I said, YouTubers started picking up the topic and the story, and the person that really spoke the person that really spoke about her is Destin Troyes, who we all know as Troyes TV, and he became one of her most vocal critics. He is low-key funny. He didn't just call her out from the comfort of his camera. He literally like flew to another country to confront her in person. So honestly, like, who does that unless like the situation is so wild? And that confrontation, like, I think the video is almost at 1 million views, and it turned Mary Jane into the face of influencer scamming for a lot of viewers. Even in my last video about Okunta Kinte, someone actually said, "Can you speak about Maryjane Byram?" And I was like, yo, she's the one I'm working on like right now. Yeah, like her name just started like showing up on that TikTok hashtags like Maryjane Byram and Scammer, where creators made timelines of all her controversies and warned others not to fall for it. The shift was undeniable. Her audience became like a watchdog. People who once watched her travel vlogs were now tracking her lies, exposing her scams, and screenshotting everything that she tried to quickly delete. And the backlash, it had fully taken over. And again, let's not forget that it's not just like the financial stuff that rubbed people about Mary Jane the wrong way. Also, her personal views started pushing people away too. In one video, she, like I said, she said she did not believe in racism. She did not believe that racism was real because she never experienced it. And that one statement, you can imagine how black people are going to feel, because this is coming from a black woman who travels the world. Literally, someone said, I don't know if it's Choice TV that said it, but someone's like, she wouldn't say this if she stepped foot into like Sundown Town. People unfollowed her immediately, saying that the ignorance was just too much. She went on rants calling college a scam, insisting that people didn't need degrees, which is so ironic considering that she was being accused of scamming people herself. Someone online said the only thing that she knows how to do is scam and be delusional. So between the money drama and the off-putting commentary, her image completely crumbled. And through all of this, Mary Jane, she never really apologized. No real acknowledgement, no in-depth video addressing the dozens, maybe hundreds of complaints. At most, she just ships like, let's say, a few snacks boxes here and there. I don't know if she does like bingo to pick who she wants to deliver it to. I think it's a handful of buyers received some of her hair oil in 2024, but people, they were done being fooled, because it felt like she was just doing it to say, you see, I delivered something, while she quietly like ignored the other people who never made good on, or who never got anything. And that's the part that really stuck with people, because the complete lack of accountability. She's never gone back to make things right with the many people who have said that they were scammed by her. She just kept it pushing new products, new trips, new schemes, rinse and repeat. Like I said 2 weeks ago, she has a new hair care line, and it's so sad because whenever she responds, it's always the same excuse. She's a one business person, she's overwhelmed, she's lost someone's contact info, or she's between countries. But the reality is, people offered solutions. They said she could reach out to buyers who left phone numbers, she could hire help, she could take 5 minutes to refund someone, but she didn't, and that silence said more than any statement could. At this point, people don't see Mary Jane as a failed businesswoman, they see her as a full-blown scammer, someone who builds just enough trust to sell the dream and pockets the money, and then she disappears. And because she's always moving, like from Dubai to Japan to New York to wherever, it's nearly impossible to hold her accountable. Lawsuits, police reports, they do not hit when the person you're trying to serve is literally in a different country every few weeks. And there's someone on Reddit that said that she uses the money from her new scams to pay for her new trip, which honestly, that is how I see it. A self-funded travel lifestyle paid for by a Ponzi-like cycle of broken promises, literally. And unless something drastic changes, that's the story that Mary Jane seems determined to keep writing. So now let's speak about the other side, and I'm speaking about someone who is like a devil's advocate. I'm going to play the role of devil's advocate when it comes to Mary Jane with this one, because don't come for me yet till you listen to this side, okay? Is there any possible defenses for what Maryjane Byram has done? It's a very tough question because honestly I've sat down to kind of figure out why she would do this, because to be fair, some people have tried to be fair. Do you understand? You could argue that not everything that she did was meant to be a scam from the start. Some of her supporters and even Mary Jane herself, when she addresses the criticism, which is so rare, just said that maybe she really did have like good intentions. Maybe she actually wanted to deliver the trips, the products, the experiences. She just got overwhelmed because think about it, she's constantly moving from country to country, running multiple projects as a solo creator and juggling a YouTube channel, a store, travel plans, and customer communication all at once. That's a lot for anyone, especially someone without a permanent home base or a full team behind her. In the most generous light, maybe she bit off more than she could chew. Maybe the problem wasn't that she meant to deceive people, but that she overpromised what one person could reasonably pull off. What does a responsible business owner do when a product or when orders get too overwhelming? They hit pause, they refund people, they communicate, because that's what a responsible business owner does when they're in over their head. Mary Jane, on the other hand, she tends to do the exact opposite. So when people start complaining, she disappears, she deletes posts, she quietly removes the offer from her site, and then suddenly she's back with a new product, a new trip, a new scheme, sometimes in a new country, still asking for more money. And that's not a mistake. That is literally not a mistake. You cannot be making the same mistake all the time. That's a pattern. That is a fucking pattern. And it's not just about being slow with delivery. It's how she handles people asking for refunds. It's how she ignores them completely. And in the Better Business Bureau case about her rice water product, she told customers something along the lines of, if you don't want to wait, I'll give you a refund. But when they actually ask for it, they're like, okay, yeah, give me my money, give me my money, give me my money. Nothing. She vanished like the last person they don't answer when it came to that stupid, useless trend. That trend was so, I was like, what the fuck is that trend? Give me my money. Anytime I used to see, I used to be like, what the fuck? But anyways, that's not someone that is struggling, in my own opinion. That's someone who has no intention of letting go of the money once it hits their account. And the bigger problem is how brazen it all feels. Even while past customers were still publicly asking for updates or commenting on her pages or sending DMs or begging for answers, she was promoting brand new expensive group trips. The timing alone just makes it so hard for anyone to believe that she was just disorganized. It felt more like she was deliberately moving on and pretending that the fallouts didn't exist. Because how can you be, being all in for your travels? Yeah, there's a video of hers that I watched. She was like, oh, I've been preparing for my travel and where I'm going to, because she did that video earlier this year. I'm preparing for my travel because I want to plan my life for 2025 and I want to complete my travel to every place in the world this year. So she was already making like life admin for that. So I can't do it for the people that you owe money. So when I read it, I think this person was like a Reddit moderator, and the person said, you can tell she hasn't changed because the lies keep coming up unprovoked. Every time she addresses the backlash, she somehow adds a new contradiction. She doesn't clear anything up, she just creates more confusion. Still, if you zoom out far enough, there's one angle even her harshest critics have sometimes admitted. In her early days, Mary Jane inspired people, especially young black women. She showed what it looked like to travel the world, to take risks, to live boldly. I personally don't think I would be able to go to Afghanistan. I personally don't think I would go to Afghanistan, but she did that. She made it seem very possible. For a while, like, people rooted for her. I don't know about any other people, but I know for myself. Not because she was perfect, but because she presented freedom and ambition. And being that person in my mom's room, just laying down and just seeing this person just fulfill their dream. That's what makes this whole thing so heartbreaking. Many of the people who ended up getting scammed were her fans first. They didn't sign up because they were naive. They signed up because they believed in her. One of the original travel body victims even posted on Reddit directly addressing her. The person said, Maryjane Byram, if you see this, can you just respond to the people that paid you? You have been an inspiration for us, and that's the only reason we signed up. That statement really says it all. That statement really says it all. It wasn't like a random customer. It were people who saw her as a role model. They wanted to support her, and that's what makes this whole fallout just feel so personal. This isn't just about money, it's about trust. And for some, the hardest part wasn't like losing a few $100s. It was realizing that the person that they admired wasn't who she claimed to be. And in the end, Maryjane Byram's story is more than just a list of failed products and ignored refunds. It's a case study in how powerful an influencer's brand can be and how devastating it is when the brand turns out to be smoke and mirrors. So guys, that brings us to the end of this video. Guys, if you reached the end, kindly let me know. Could you please like this video, share this video if you care, and please subscribe. Thank you guys so much. And honestly, today has been such a very busy day for me. I had like a 1-hour meeting, and then I'm recording this video, and now I'm about to go to the market to cook because I want to cook yam pepper soup. I had the yam pepper soup like last week, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to have it again. So I'm going to the market to buy like the essentials like the yam, and yeah, so that's what I'm going to do because there's no market day tomorrow. So if I don't go tomorrow, I have to go on Thursday. And yam pepper soup, in case you guys don't know, is a Nigerian dish. It is so good. You all only know of egusi. Egusi, bro, I didn't like egusi like even as a child. Like I still really don't like it because they're like better soups in Nigeria. Especially where I'm from in Nigeria. Like my side is known for having like the best of foods, like literally. So you guys are saying egusi, egusi, egusi. If I cook afang and a tam and a fair for you guys, it will be like, oh my god, try away egusi. Honestly, so I'm going to prepare yam pepper soup. It was so good last time. Every time I'm eating it, like Orion is there because the thing was that I did not want to eat by myself. I was like literally begging people to come to my house to enjoy this goodness and eat this food. Literally, like it is that good. But the thing is, the name is pepper soup, so it's really really spicy. But again, I'm Nigerian, like we eat spice. You know, our black pepper is not what you guys have here. And I came to this country and I was like, black pepper, I can literally like have a spoonful of black pepper here and I'll be fine. The black pepper in Nigeria is literally hotter than habanero. It's called Cameroon pepper. So yeah, I don't know why I said that, but guys, honestly, thank you guys so much. If you stopped here, I can't wait to go to the market and cook. I've already invited like one of my friends to come on Friday to eat because the food's gonna taste nice. I cannot eat alone. I can't eat it alone. I need other people to enjoy and join the goodness that is my food. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you reached the end, kindly like, share, subscribe if you do care, because I do care. And thank you so much. My camera has actually spoiled, guys. My camera has spoiled. I woke up this morning, I turned on my camera and there's like, it's bleeding purple. Speaking about bleeding, you remember our last video when I spoke about Okunta Kinte and I was like, the plot thickens like my uterus lining every month, but instead of bleeding, I bleed for the drama that surrounds Okunta Kinte. Yo, I got that line when I woke up and I was in the morning on the toilet. TMI, but like that's when it got into me because that was the night that I dreamt about Joseph, and literally I was just sitting there and I was like so like, you know, taken aback and just shocked about everything. And I was like, oh my god, the plot is thickening. And I was having cramps, but I didn't know I was going to my period. You know when you have those premenstrual cramps? So like everything just came together. So speaking about that on my period, so I'm currently like bleeding, like literally. Not that I was speaking that like my uterus, the lining of my uterus was really, really like thickening. But now I bleed for Maryjane Byram and the drama that surrounds her. But anyways, guys, who are we bleeding for next week? We never know, okay? That should be my next, that should be like my staple line, you know? But yeah, so this week we are bleeding for Maryjane Byram, okay? Thank you guys so much for your love and your appreciation. following and watching my videos. Y'all do not know how grateful I am for you guys just showing up for me every week. Like, it really means the world to me. It really means the world to me. Should I let you guys know this secret? People have been recognizing me in London. Like, literally every time I go out, someone recognizes me, and I'm lucky having anxiety about that, because I think when I go into content, I was speaking to this about like my friends. I didn't think of the fact that I may get recognized. I just thought of the fact that I'm pursuing my dreams. So it's still something I'm getting used to. And thank God the people that have recognized me so far are like really like angels. They're like good people. Like, even when I went for an interview, someone recognized me. When I went for an event, someone recognized me. When I went for my friend's barbecue, 2 people recognized me. And I'm just grateful that people that have recognized me are like good people. I didn't expect it, because again, I don't have many people from the UK that watches me. It's mostly people from America that watches me. So going out and people recognizes me, it throws me off. But at the end of the day, I'm really, really grateful. Thank you so much for supporting me. Like, y'all don't know how much you guys really mean the most to me. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you. And I need to go to the market because it's already 3 p.m. and the market takes a long time. But I think I have most of the ingredients, and I'm going to like come back to, cook, which I hate cooking, but I prefer cooking to washing plates. But yeah, that's a story for another day. But thank you guys so much. I really do love and appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for always showing me love and always supporting me in the little way you can by, watching me. Thank you. Until next time, bye. Drop a red emoji because I'm wearing something red and I love what I'm wearing, okay? Until next time, bye.